Welcome to this week's Rubber Run Sports Show. I am Nick Foles, joined as always by Rob G and Papa. Rob, how are we doing?
Doing fine. That's just gross. That's gross.
Fantastic.
You know, it's probably the least mad I've ever been about a loss.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I got a lot of that.
It is.
It's good.
I tell you this, your defense played horrible.
They did.
My goodness.
I don't think anybody played defense in that game.
No. And it just reaffirms the fact that Tom Brady is the best ever.
He got no argument out of me there.
505.
It's crazy. He took about 3 years off my life is what he did.
I think he took about 3 years off his own life.
He may have.
No, it was awesome.
We're here at Next Level Fitness down in Haymarket.
Of course.
It's quite the facility.
It is.
You start using these weights in here.
Hey, get ready. The lineman camp.
Lineman camp is coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Let's fill it up. So we're going to get started with two schools, William Monroe, who I've never heard of, but apparently I should.
Take that hat off.
I can't.
Oh, my God.
It's just part of the show.
All right, great.
William Monroe played at Brentsville Girls.
All right, yeah. So I know, unusual game.
Yeah.
We don't do a whole lot of Brentsville. But William Monroe down near UVA, they have a girl named Samantha Brunell who is the #1 player in the 2019 class in the country.
Yeah.
I mean, she's got offers from anywhere you could think of. I wanted to get out and see her. I've heard a lot about her. You know, I got some family down there. They tell me all the time, you got to go see this girl. All right. She's 6'3".
Good height.
When you walk on the court, you see, I mean, she stands out right away. Right. She looks the part, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Now, one thing, she kind of tapes her jersey up here.
Okay.
So it says Dragons on the back, but when I got there and the first time I saw it, I thought it said Drago. So I was like,
that's great.
I was like,
that would have been great.
Yeah. I was like, is she related to Dolph Lundgren? What's going on? But it's just the way she had the jersey taped. But Brentsville played. To say double team is an understatement. They literally had two people pickpocketing her, just either front pockets, back pockets. They could have pickpocketed whatever they wanted to. They were literally just grabbing her from both sides the entire game. Like, she couldn't go anywhere without two people on her.
Right.
So, you know, Brentsville just completely sacrificed. We're going to let somebody stay open the whole time.
Yeah.
Didn't work out for him. William Monroe still gets the win. I mean, it was just a tough game throughout.
Sure, absolutely.
But Haley Morris, excuse me, I got a little choked up there. Yeah, I don't know what happened.
So emotional.
Yeah, it's that damn hat you got on. Haley Morris, their point guard for William Monroe, she did a really good job of just kind of, she took shots when she needed to. I think she had 12 in the game, something like that. But she did a really good job. You can tell their team plays around Samantha Brunell really well because they know what they have right there.
Sure.
But they don't force the ball to her all the time.
Right.
They let other teammates get open and she'll find them. She's a great passer.
Right.
Samantha Brunell is a tremendous passer.
And there are two schools, is that right? Two or three?
I think so.
So this is going to be fun. I mean, we cover the 4, 5s, and 6s, but there's some great players on the boys and girls sides.
Yeah, it's just we don't have those schools up here.
Yeah, we talked about Matt McClung, who's gotten national praise, going to Georgetown.
That dude's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think Brunell finished with 9 in the game, but she was she did a lot of passing, and when she handles the ball, she can do everything on the basketball court.
Yeah.
She can shoot the 3. She can just blow you out of the water inside. Man, you can see right away why there's so much hype around her.
Yeah.
I just got to say this about Brentsville.
Okay.
I didn't talk at all about them. I'm completely sorry about that.
You did not.
No, I'm sorry. Brentsville. They have a point guard that I like.
Okay.
She seems, I don't know anything about her, but Catherine Forst. She seems like a player that you would love to have play for your team, but that other teams don't like at all.
Yeah.
That's why I like her.
Like Danny Ainge.
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
Okay.
She can handle those, and she doesn't get flustered. That's the thing I thought was impressive about her. She didn't get flustered at all. Yeah.
You know who else is legit?
Who's that?
Our main man, John Becerra.
John Becerra is legit.
John Becerra went and saw Parkview play Loudoun County.
Yeah.
How's the Parkview basketball this season?
Why do you got to start there? They're 1-9. You know, they're 1-9.
Okay.
So got to get out there. The great Natalie Villaflor.
Yep.
They also, Loudoun County also has a player that we're going to talk about in a minute, Morgan Harden.
Okay.
Trouble. I mean, it's not a game from the start. Am I being nice by saying that?
No.
What was the score at the end of the first quarter?
They had
It was-
points.
They had how many points? 4.
Yeah. I'll put it this way. It was 43-8 at halftime.
Oh, wow.
But Sarah texted me the score.
Running clock.
Yeah. I mean, what are you going to do?
I don't understand Parkview. They have such great soccer over there.
They do have great soccer. They do.
There's athletes in the school.
There are. That's what I want you to remind me about. Natalie Villaflor, we talked to her a couple of weeks ago. She she moved from forward to point
Right.
guard. She's just great. It doesn't matter. She finishes with 25.
Yeah.
She's just great.
Easy night.
It is, I know. And she can shoot the 3.
Yeah.
She can drive the ball inside. She does basically everything.
Right.
It's amazing that a player that's good at forward, you can just plug in at point guard.
Absolutely.
It's great. Morgan Harden is a junior. She had 20. And I'm telling you what, she's going to be trouble the rest of this year, and she's going to be trouble next year. She's legit.
What
She
year
had
is she?
She's a junior.
Oh, yeah.
She had a couple of steals, nice finishes, and she also had one where her arms were being completely hacked to the basket. She still flips it up and gets it in. It's not a whole lot you can say. It goes on to win. Loudoun kind of goes on to win 68-16.
You know what I'm craving?
Oh God, what?
Lasagna.
You messed that up. It was ready and waiting for you.
I know. I need a little more notice.
It was ready and waiting for you.
We just need to bring it here.
Yeah,
This is the eating grounds. these are the feeding grounds.
John is not
at
a
Next Level
dine-out
Fitness.
person. John is a eat-in person.
I'm an eat-in at Next Level Fitness person. I think you secretly want to be the mayor of Reston. Because you seem to be at more South Lakes games than I am.
You know what? That's funny. I wasn't at the game.
Oh, you weren't?
No.
Who was there?
Ryan.
Oh, Ryan was there.
Yeah, she wouldn't get out to a game. I told her that.
Maybe I need to keep my eye closer on Ryan. If she starts showing up with jerk chicken, we got problems.
That's right. Well, you know what? They had the lasagna there.
Oh,
So
come on.
She could have had that. But no, Ryan, she got out there, check out she wanted a good game to go to. I told her there is no better game on the schedule than the Langley South Lakes girls. Obviously, Jordan Callahan.
Yep.
Tia Benvenuti, both stars for those teams.
Absolutely.
And playing to finish out the regular season. 11-11 after the first. What else would you expect when those two teams are going at it? And then South Lakes just kind of pulls it out. I mean, it's 28-23 at halftime. Jordan Callahan. That's the first text I got from Ryan when she was at the game. She said, "This number 1 Jordan Callahan is amazing."
Huh.
She is. I mean,
Right.
she finishes with 22. She carries the load a lot for that team. They also have a player, Rana Azad, who finished with 8. She's really good, but Jordan Callahan really runs things for that team. Yeah, I mean, when you look at the South Lakes, they pull away in the second half. Maddie Young was 6-5. Tia Benvenuti 7-5-2. I mean, just a really balanced stat sheet for
Right.
all of them. Brianna Scott 11-8. Adriana Smith, who I talked about, the freshman I talked about a couple weeks ago, she finishes with 10-7-2. Like, it's not a bad night for a freshman
Absolutely not.
in a big time varsity game.
Nope.
South Lakes, just a tremendous year. To see them, they were really good last year.
Yeah.
They're a lot better this year.
Wow. That's high praise.
They're going to be trouble in the playoffs. Obviously, Christy Winter-Scott knows what she's got
She
going
knows
on
what
there.
she's doing.
Yeah. They go on to win 60-48. I mean, they just kind of pulled away at the end. And, sort of a down year for Langley.
Right.
When you can have a down year and you're still 14-7.
Absolutely.
That's great. I just think I think the world of Coach Baker over there at Langley and the job that she does. I think she ain't far off, if at all, from the top coach in girls basketball of the year. I think they're great. But yeah, 60-48, South Lakes goes on to win.
Well, we're at Next Level Fitness Training Center, so it's only fitting that we talk to a trainer.
That's right. We wanted to go out and talk to one of the best basketball trainers around. Not just around here, but he goes all over the country and trains, whether it's high school, college, pro. He does it all. 24/7 basketball. Dylan Crane.
Dylan Crane.
Take a look.
Ready?
All set. All right, Dylan. Please excuse the smell of French vanilla over here. I spilled coffee on myself. It was terrible coming in the door.
You should have said coffee and not French vanilla.
That's probably true. That's probably true. What a terrible way to start this. That's a terrible way to introduce this interview. All right, Dylan, you go around all over the country. You're training people all over the place. How did you get into basketball training?
Man, I started when I was 14, actually.
Okay.
When I went to school, I had a lot of kids that really wanted to train with me. In high school, I was actually the third leading scorer according to Max Preps in the country. So I had a lot of people, or a couple people know my name, so I just started it. I kind of understood it. I didn't have a trainer growing up. Yeah. So I was just kind of like, okay, let's sit on the good old YouTube and go from there. So I just watched YouTube. I tried to study the game as much as I could and go from there. So started, went to high school, went to college, wanted to do something with basketball, whether it was playing professionally, whether it was working for an NBA team, being an athletic director, whatever, being involved in sports. So my freshman year, I actually created my own brand, 24/7 Basketball. And from that, it's weird. I'm a guy that loves to tell stories about what I start. And believe it or not, my favorite verse, according to the Bible, is 2 Timothy 4:7. I fought the fight, I finished the course, I've kept the faith. So from that, 2 Timothy 4:7 creates 24/7. So now I'm able to tell a story. Yeah. And kind of tell about my life and how basketball's kind of grown into me and made it a career for me. So I went to college, played 4 years, had a great career, ended up playing pro, went down a little with the Rockets Summer League team, had a good time with them, got a couple deals after that, didn't end up taking it, and that's when I really started to pursue basketball training. It was kind of part-time as like a hobby kind of thing, but now it's like, it's exploded since August. And I'm really all about helping kids get to college. That's my ultimate goal. I want to help kids get to college, but I want to help kids get results. I'm not a guy that's satisfied with a kid going into the game and he's still getting 5 points. He better be getting results. If not, I'm not doing my job or he's not doing his.
Right.
So I love kids and I try to mentor kids as much as I can. And being only 24, I still understand the latest trends of what's going on in high school. So I have a sister that's 9 as well, and I have a brother that's 21. So I'm still involved with kids a lot, even in my own family. So
very cool. So what level of training are you doing? I mean, I know you work kids at all levels, kids who are just getting into basketball, or
right. I try to keep a certain brand, and I try to stop it at like from fifth grade on to however it goes, just because the kid's still trying to figure out if he likes it or not.
Sure.
And I want to work with kids that are serious, that really want to play ball, and that because I tell kids all the time, I work harder than you during the session. I don't just sit there and I'm guarding them. I want them to. I'm a big believer in helping them feel exactly what they're going to feel in the game.
Yeah.
And that's how I felt like they've grown so much. And I'm a trainer that likes to put kids in read and react situations. I want to tell them why, when, and how, and what they're going to experience in a game. Because that's like, I apply training like a classroom. My job is being not just a trainer, but a teacher. My job is to prepare you for the test, which is the game. So if I can do that, I know I'm doing my job. So I try to keep it from 5th grade to pros, and I work with the Wizards and the Mystics as well. And so I've been able to be involved in that platform. My ultimate goal is to be a development coach in the NBA, and be able to train guys to take over what I've started and go from there. So that's kind of what I'm trying to go for.
Dylan's being a little bit modest.
Yeah.
He's like, I have personally watched him train like some of the bigger names in the area of people that you would think about at basketball. I mean, I know he's Anna LeMaster, Cam Savage, and I know I saw him yesterday with some Gonzaga players. Like, he does a lot of stuff with big athletes.
Well, I knew he was being modest when he brushed over the fact that he was Max Prep's third.
Thank you.
I would have spit out my entire stat line. How many points I averaged, who I scored the most points against.
Can't do that. Can't do that.
Well, so let me ask you, what separates your training from others, or what do you like to focus on with athletes?
Right. So again, I love putting kids where, when, how, what you're going to experience in the game. I think there's a lot of guys out there, and I'm never going to mention names, but I have seen it where there's guys out there that just kind of, okay, do this, do this move, okay, that's cool, but how does it apply to a game? If we're going to do that. So I bring it into 3 levels. Number 1, can you do it with contact? Can you do it without contact? And can you understand how it's happening in the game? And that's how I kind of break it down. But I put you in situations where you will experience in a game. So that's why it translates so quickly. And there might be trainers out there that do that, but I have not seen a lot of guys that really do things that transfer to a game. I'm not going to do a lot of ball handling. I'm not going to do a lot of you know, gimmicky drills. I totally believe in being able to feel exactly what I'm teaching you. And if you can do that, you're going to transfer into a game. Now, there's a lot of guys that really struggle with the mental aspect. And I try to really will them to battling that mental aspect. And that's something that I try to sit down with them and spend more of my time and maybe have lunch with them or go to their school or watch film with them and really spend more time with them to get over that, because I understand how that feels. And I had a mentor of mine that helped me get past that. So I break down their film. I sit down with them. I text them daily, see how they're doing at the games. They text me their stats. They text me, okay, this is what struggled. Oh, I worked on this. This happened in the game. Oh, we need to work on this. Or, okay, now let's put it into life. Now let's break down your offense. They get the offense from the coaches. I get their offense, and then I break down exactly what they're going to see in a game. And then from that, you know, that's how I see results quicker. And I don't think there's a lot of guys that do that. I'm
glad you mentioned that. So much of basketball is mental. Yeah. Right. And then when you're training kids that are 5th grade on, I'm sure you see it. Confidence is such a huge part of their development. Right. You can have one kid with one skill level 1 year. We see it all the time. Yeah. A 10th grader going to his 11th grade year, his confidence level just, you know, brought out a different player. Now, how do you kind of teach that or encourage confidence aspect?
That's tougher depending on every player. You know, each kid has a different mentality. You know, I see some kids that just come in with a straight dog face. You know? Like, there's kids, man, I'm hungry, I'm here to get better. We're not here to waste time, let's work. And then there's other kids that are kind of like, the parents are kind of pushing them to be here, and they're just kind of like, you know, I don't know if I want to work this hard, you know. Right. So it's different. Usually with the kids that want it, I have to, and some of those already have confidence, but most of those, some don't. So usually I kind of will that into them with a lot of reps, because the more reps they get, the more confidence they're going to have doing what we do. Second of all, I make sure I spend, like I said, extra time with them, to where I'm texting them, I'm sending a couple quotes to them. One thing I like to do in the morning is I like to encourage kids each morning. So there's probably one player that I pick each morning and send them a text, say, man, you're going to do great today. You're going to have a great day. Send them encouraging text and just really will everything into them. And then from that, you know, there's times where I've had, like, okay, let's just get 15, 20 minutes in. Let's go over what you saw the next day. Let's get some more reps to where you feel confident with it. And really, I found that the more reps that we do, the more time I'm spending with them. I've had parents come and say, hey, I don't know what you did, but you just gave so much more confidence to my player, just because you were able to spend the extra time with him, and he got a lot more reps than he normally would, whether it's this time or this time and so forth. So that's what I found a lot of.
Now, who are some of the clients that you've had that you're most proud of?
Oh, wow. You know, I have a lot of them. But, you know, I always start with my day ones and guys that have been with me for a long time. And Cam Savage was one of my first guys. You know, I'm very proud of Cam. He won District Player of the Year this year, first team all defense. And that's somebody that, man, like, I've been able to build him from, you know, the ground up. And that's something I'm super excited about. Cam, and then really just the guys that have been with me and stuck with me. Like, you know, there's tons of guys that do this, and like, I really appreciate guys being loyal. There's another guy out there, Josh Foote. You know, he was one of my first guys as well in the Warrenton, Haymarket area. He plays at Liberty High School. He's killing it, like, every single game. I hope he gets a scholarship. I'm trying to help him get one, but you know, he's another guy. And you know, I'm obviously proud of all my clients and what they're able to do. But I would probably say those two guys, as far as high school guys, that have stuck with me from day one and that are familiar to the area, as guys that I really appreciate the most. And obviously, I love guys like Jordan Harrison and guys from Gonzaga, Jeremy Roach and Josiah Harris. I love all those guys, all the big name guys, or even guys that I don't even know. Right. I love them, and I try to treat everybody equally, because they're all on the same path to greatness, and I'm on the same as mine, so I try to treat them the exact same way, and I do. 100%. They will get all of my time as much as I can give them. But the guys that have stuck with me from day one, such as Cam and Josh, I really appreciate. So parents that are watching, students that are watching, how do they get in touch with you? Well, you can either contact me on Instagram, 24_7 basketball training. Contact me there, DM me, or you can email me at basketballtraining24.7@gmail.com. And feel free to contact me anytime. My phone's open. Anybody, I always respond. So, cool. Yeah. What's your pre-training meal? What do you tell people to eat? Pre-training meal? Let's see. Well, when I was playing, I love getting like a Panera salad and like a Frontiga chicken panini. That was my go-to.
See, that's why he looks like that, and I look like this. I'm like,
lasagna over
I'm
here.
a suck in when you say camera rolling.
Oh man, and then I love smoothies too. So smoothies and like something light I would always get, but it has a certain amount of carbs in it too. So.
Mine always has a cern amount of vodka in it. So many problems, so many differences. Don't let me train you.
No. Well, Dylan, thanks so much, man.
No,
definitely.
It's
good to meet you.
Awesome.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Cool.
Bet.
Pretty good.
You can say that?
Yeah.
No, when McClung is one of the guys that you're training, that's a big deal.
Yeah, I'd be wearing a shirt with a picture of him on it.
With the
saying
between
I
the legs
trained
done.
him.
Yeah. It's great though that he said he was training him that morning that he did the between the legs.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
All right, Heritage Loudoun Valley.
Yes. You know what? I had a good time at Loudoun Valley.
You should.
Of course.
Packed gym, I'm assuming.
It was a Thursday night. I don't know why, but it was a little more tame than I expected.
Huh.
It was a little more tame.
I think there was just an emotional letdown for
God,
everybody this week after the Philadelphia Eagles' thrilling Super Bowl victory.
I'm going to start at halftime.
Okay.
Number 34 and number 35 from the White Blue Ridge youth team that played at halftime. Yeah, 34, kind of a big dude. He hit a step back three at one point. The crowd lost it. Like the crowd went crazier for that three than they did for anything that went during the Loudoun Valley
Really?
game. Yeah. 35, that kid's a beast. I don't know who he is. I'm pretty sure they said that his name was Kling. If he's Ben Kling's little brother from Stonebridge, watch out for that kid. I was watching, you know, sometimes during halftime I'm sitting there doing other things. I kept looking up and I was like, wait, what is that kid doing? So, 35 from that White Blue Ridge team. Shout out to you. Now to the game.
To the game.
Heritage. They came ready to play. You know, they're not having a great year.
Right. Well, everyone's going to get Valley's best.
They're 4-10.
Yeah.
Not having a tremendous year, but they gave Valley everything they wanted. Or they gave them everything they didn't want. They gave them everything. I'll put it that way. But they put the pressure on them from the start. They just came out. They were in attack the whole time.
Right.
Loudoun Valley did not look ready to play.
Really?
They were just
surprising.
It was. I don't know. Maybe it's senior night. Obviously, that senior class being who they are. Maybe it's a little emotional. I don't know. But they didn't play as well. I wasn't the only one that thought that. I'll put it that way. No, they just came out with not a whole lot of energy. Here's the thing. When you're that good, you cannot play well and still find yourself up by 12 or whatever it was at halftime. Right. That's the most impressive thing about them. They played the worst I've probably ever seen them play, and they were still up by double digits.
Yeah.
They're that good. Heritage. They had a couple guys, Andrew Boyd, Giovanni Wooten. They were both really good. They got a dude that I like, Mustafa Sane. Now,
good name.
Yeah, let's ignore the fact that your brother Mustafa will never be on this show because he's way better looking than the two of us.
That's very true.
Yeah, he'll make us look bad. No. He can run a camera, cannot be on this show.
That's absolutely right.
But Mustafa Sane, that dude, he just attacked all night. He's got a little bit of length to him. He's got a quick first step. He can get to the basket. He can finish. I liked watching him a lot. Solid all night though.
Right.
Do not know how many points he had. Heritage, just put your stats up so I can see how much. I just want to see
good idea.
How many points he had. But he was really good all night. That dude's legit. Halftime comes. The buzzer goes off. Heritage goes to go to the locker room. Loudoun Valley starts to go to the locker room. Coach Dawson, no.
I love it.
He said, no, you're not going to the locker room. Sit down. I got nothing to say to you. And he walked off and stood on the side. He was standing pretty close to me at halftime. There was no way I was going to say anything to him at that point. Yeah. He did not look like a happy guy. Also, Coach Dawson, Chad Dawson is going to push Keith Honore and Coach Houston and those guys. He's on the court during the game. He's a sixth man.
Six-man award?
Yeah, he's a sixth man.
The Rebel Run six-man award is way different than everybody else's.
It absolutely is. There is no player who gets a six-man award from us. It's only coaches. And, that gym's real small anyway.
Yeah.
No, not a whole lot of places you can stand.
No.
So he just stands on the court. It's awesome. It's awesome. Second half, you would think that they came out with more energy and came out better. Not so much. It was 18-18 in the third quarter.
Really?
Yeah. They pull away. It's 25-16 in the fourth. They pull away. They go on to win 86-68. Like I said, you play a bad game, you still win by 18.
Yeah.
Dominic Peterson, great, 22 in that game. Jordan Miller with 20. There was one play, I think they gave Jordan Miller a bounce pass, and I think he wanted the oop because he turned around afterwards and just pointed up. I think he was looking for the alley-oop on that, which would have set the crowd off with a turnaround. Jalen Williams has 15 and some ridiculous passes. I said last week he's the most underrated player in Northern Virginia. I'll double down on that.
Huh.
Yeah. He had a couple of passes that were just tremendous where, the ball ends up in a guy's hands. And he's like, where did this come from? He had 15. Mark Melbourne, who I think really changes things for them, had 10. I mean, they're great. There's nothing else. They're great.
They are.
And, man, get out and watch those guys now. I met Mr. Miller. He came to me at one point, and he's like, "Are you the guy from the show?" Because people recognize you right away.
My girth.
Yeah, I look like every other dude walking around in the street. So
you're wearing your slippers.
I was.
Those should be your trademark good at the game shoes.
That is because when I'm on the court, that's the only way to go.
Right.
Shut up. But Mr. and Mrs. Miller met them, talked to them for a few minutes. I need to hang out with Mr. Miller more.
Yeah?
He told me about how he was chilling on the ride over. It had Biggie going. And I was like, okay. Me and Mr. Miller need to hang out.
Huh.
Talked to a couple of dads. Mr. Melbourne. Talked to him for a few minutes after the game.
You're a man of the people.
I am a man of the people.
You're a man of the people.
You know what? I'm a man for the people. You're a man of the people. I'm a man for the people.
Fair enough. You know where the people were?
Where were the people?
Battlefield High School.
They're always there.
I love that commute.
I know you do.
I can leave my house at 7:24 for a 7:30 game and still be early. It's fantastic. So this is the second time they played in a week and a half.
Yeah.
And Patriot won at Patriot in a closely contested game. We interviewed Coach Sherman Rivers last week.
Yes, we did.
If you go back and watch his interview, and then what have been at that basketball game, it's like a prophecy.
Really?
Ike Nwuku, who's no longer creeping up on anybody.
It's just great.
He might be, he's top 5 basketball players I've seen play this year.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
He's that good.
All right.
He controls the game. He's efficient, knocks down his free throws. I mean, first of all, the atmosphere in that gym.
Yeah.
As you could imagine, when these two teams get together in any sport. But this was like a little something extra.
Yeah.
Because Patriot came in there, they were kind of like, they were losing the rivalry in basketball up until this year, right?
Things have changed. Yeah.
Things have changed.
Yeah.
And they had just beaten them, so they came in confident. I mean, they were chanting, "This is our house," before the tip-off.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, like the student sections were right across from each other. It was awesome. They had ropes out. I mean, like it was craziness going on in there. But it was,
the den always has the big heads going. Do they have some big heads going?
I didn't really. They may have. I didn't really pay attention to it. The back and forth was so good.
Yeah.
I mean, and it went on nonstop. Even at halftime, they were going at it.
Awesome.
But it wasn't like in bad taste or anything. It was just like great high school rivalry. The cops weren't worried about anything that was going on. Right. It was good. You could tell a lot of the kids know each other, so they were really getting after it on like a personal level that wasn't distasteful, But it was awesome. And Patriot came out and they couldn't miss. I mean, they were up 16-8 at the end of one. They were up 31-20 at the halftime. They were up by 15 at one point in the second quarter. And the crowd was so raucous on both sides. I mean, Battlefield, it was still loud, even though they were getting smoked for a little bit, But I don't think they realized what the score of the game was. I didn't realize what the score of the game was at one point. I was like, whoa, Patriots up by like 15. What's going on in here? End of the third quarter was 46-34. And then the fourth quarter, I mean, Brayden Galt, he really got involved. He asserted himself. He led a comeback. The last 30 seconds of that basketball game
was crazy.
Was everything that's great about high school basketball.
It's crazy.
including the
everything great except the score.
Yeah, the score. They couldn't keep up. And they couldn't keep up. So there's this awkward moment you'll see in the highlights, and everyone's there. They'll know exactly what we're talking about. Battlefield comes on, they hit a big three, and then the outlet pass is a dunk,
yeah.
and they come back and they hit another big three, and there's the time expired while they're still trying to figure out what the score of the game is. There's no replay. There's this huddle. Everyone's like, wait a minute, the game's not over.
Yeah.
And then the referees just kind of confer, and one referee's like, 1.5 seconds left. I'm like, where did he get that from? But I'll take it, 1.5 seconds left. And there's an inbound pass and a foul. They knock down free throws.
Yeah.
Throw the ball in. They miss a half-court shot to tie at the buzzer. Patriot 66-63. Patriot is really good.
Yeah, man.
Ike Onwuka had 22 points. Drake Marshall.
He's a knockdown shooter, man.
Dude, Drake Marshall is great. He had 17. And then Ja'Kai Moore, who we talked about with Coach last week. All the football schools are out getting him. He only had 5 points. But he probably, just from standing in the lane, he forced a lot of bad shots. Shots that you see those Battlefield guys, they attack the basket.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard to attack 6'8", 300 pounds, you know? So even when he's flat-footed standing in the lane, I mean, he take a charge and he doesn't move.
Ask defensive linemen all over
Absolutely,
the area.
Absolutely. But yeah, they're good. Sherman Rivers has got them in the right direction. The end of the week, they go out and they beat Osborne 61-51 to win the program's first district title.
Yep.
Since the school's inception.
Trouble.
So, yeah, they're trouble.
Watch out.
It's going to be good.
Yeah, it is.
That's going to be a fun district tournament to watch.
It's going to be something.
A lot of good quality players in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Prince William County basketball is really good right
It's
now.
legit. Just about as legit as my Philadelphia Eagles. As you know, I went to the parade. As a good Eagle fan would.
I remembered what it was.
What was it?
We talked last week about things that are 40 years away and nobody's changed it.
Yeah.
How the hell are they still using a chain?
Yes, that's what it was.
How you still use a chain to measure?
Absolutely.
It's ridiculous.
I'm so glad you just thought that. That was bothering me. How come there's not some laser light that just, you know?
It's got to be the easiest thing in the world.
It's got to be.
You can put a GPS on a dog collar. You know what I'm saying?
That's very
like,
true.
how are you guys?
Yeah.
It's a chain.
Yeah.
And then there's always the two guys or the three guys, whatever, the chain gangs from everywhere.
I know.
Running up and down, tripping over things.
They just do it for the suspense.
It's ridiculous.
It'd be way different if you pushed a button and like, oh, the light says it's short, versus those guys like dragging out. Like, you got to have this moment in football. That's the reason why.
Any freshman in high school is sitting there looking, going, yeah, what? Why are they still
Why
using
are they
that?
doing this?
Yeah. No,
why are they doing this?
Sense.
Well, football season is officially over. Basketball season is going into the playoffs. I'm so excited.
I'm ready for lacrosse.
Yeah?
Yeah, I am, man. I'm ready for lacrosse.
I'm ready for lacrosse weather, too.
There you go.
Basketball playoffs are going to be great.
Yeah, they are.
Feels good getting back in that Robinson gym for some playoff basketball.
Yes, it does.
Looking forward to that. Well, for John Becerra, Rob G and Papa, Nick Foles. Nick Foles went out and got a tan after the Super Bowl. Next Level Fitness in Haymarket. Come out and see us down here.
Yeah.
Lyman trainings.
Bring food.
Bring food. Bring food. Lasagna. Love it.
I figured I'd say it before you did.
Check your local listings where to see us on your local cable channels.
There you go.
Always on RebelRunSports.com.
Always.
See you next week.